Hello, hello. Welcome to the live stream. Hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Happy Thursday to one and all. What a busy news day. I mean, it's just coming from all directions. Like, for instance, the Duchess of Sussex with the announcement about the podcast. Um, so that is happening very soon. But before I get to that, let me say hello to a bunch of people that are in the live stream. Let's see. Hold on. Let me open up another thing so I can watch that. Hmm. Okay. One second. I got this. I got this. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Echo, echo. Okay. Okay, the echo is gone. All right, so welcome Lydia and Connie Balmer. So Lydia Washington, Connie is here. Jean MK, Sarah Turner, Fancy. Miranda Rios is here. Okay, welcome one and all. Okay, only 45 people. Interesting. What could possibly be going on right now, as I say sarcastically? Don't worry, I get it. I get it. I'm slow, but I'm worth waiting for always. So let me do one more thing here, and maybe I could rectify something before I get started. Anyway, the important thing, all my slides are ready, so we won't delay. We are going to take care of much needed business. Okay. All right. One more thing, and we will start right now. Okay. So before we get to the podcast, let's talk about the blame game. The big blame game. Uh, there we go. I think you guys can hear me, so I'm just going to go full here. But yeah, so William expresses his profound sorrow at the abhorrent um, slavery and echoes Charles saying it stains British history in emotional speech to lavish dinner hosted by Jamaica's Governor General on Jubilee tour as Kate dazzles in the Queen's diamonds. Oh yeah, so she's wearing a suite of diamonds that belongs to the sovereign. Hey, Yvonne Clark, Anna Espinoza, Rose Green, Church Nellie, Sabrina Dixon, Bright Eyes PB&J, Faithful, hello. Pamela Porter, howdy. Welcome to the live chat. Joyce Bolt. Okay, that's what's up. All right, 83 of you. That's good. Zenobia Woods, hello, welcome. 93, we're getting there. Bonjour, s'il vous plaît. Très bien, bonne nuit. The River Thames. No, I'm sorry. The the River Seine, right? Riviera, and so on. Nice, Lyon, Orleans. Oh, I love it. Hello, B10. Welcome. Okay, Miss S. Glad you're here. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, there was a speech of profound sorrow, right? I think that the big problem with this whole Jubilee 70 years on the throne tour is that from its onset, William has approached this with some type of obsession toward his brother, if you know what I mean. William is trying to outdo Harry in so many ways, but the problem is he's relying upon the old guard at the Kensington Palace. some of those people are people that people know. Some of those people, I mean, they're insiders, is what I'm trying to say. And they're people who are either trying to leverage their power base toward the royal family and all of the privileges and such of being with that crew, having that business card from Kensington Palace. This is what they're trying to use for leverage in their future endeavors, especially when Jason Knopf was there. They say he's gone, but just like a horror movie, I find it hard to believe that he's no longer there. But I digress. But we are going to cover quite a few of the things that is going on with this tour. I just decided to pick out the ones that I believe are being blamed for the shortcomings. And with that, I'm not even going to target the Kensington Palace crew, because all of that is under the umbrella of Will and Kate, who I have to give them credit for this. In spite of everything that's going on, they are definitely keeping stip, a stiff upper lip. In spite of it all, they are doing the very British stiff upper lip. Kate is smiling and grinning like a hyena. William looks rather pensive, but he also seems kind of oddly relaxed around people of color, which was not what I was expecting, but he looks oddly relaxed. So again, I'm going to give him credit for at least they're putting on a great show. They're using their showmanship to get through this. Okay, so with that being said, let me move this over here for a little reference. Okay, there we are. So you got William, you got Kate, and then there's this Lisa Hanna, who is a politician in Jamaica. And then there's Charles, who I'm going to make my case for a little bit of blame. And then there are the Sussexes, who pretty much have nothing to do with this, but yet there is a journalist, as you know, who's trying to blame the Duchess of Sussex, and by default, Prince Harry, for marrying the Duchess of Sussex. Let us move on. Okay, so there you have the speech, and William's speech was full of sorrow and remorse. He mentioned, just like his father, it was a stain. But what he didn't mention, of course, was reparations. The reparations that so many people of color in the former colonial world would like to receive from the British royal family as well as the British government. And of course, by that, they really are trying to target the British taxpayer. They don't really care where the money comes from, they just want their reparations. Well, some of you may have seen that video from We On TV from India, and Weon actually had decided to give William a bit of a lesson about colonialism. And so, if you haven't seen that video, I want to say I put it on the community tab, but I'm not sure. But I will make sure that by the end of today, I will find it and make sure I put it on there. Copycat makes you want to vomit. I get that one. Okay, and Mary Hiker says, "Who is the designer of that? Who is the designer? That's awful." Um, that is a good question, and believe me, I am going to speak in depth about that gown a little bit later. And let's see. Okay, do you think he was incandescent with rage? Um, I'm sure. You know what? That not that that was directed toward me, but knowing William, he probably had. I think that. since he's away from Kensington Palace, I don't know if the incandescent with rage is as pronounced away from Kensington Palace as it is at this moment. You know what I mean? Because right now he's out of his element and he's surrounded by people of color. And for that reason, perhaps he's just not able to, um, I guess, control the environment that he's in. It would be fascinating to see if anybody loses their job as a result of the whole fiasco with this trip. I mean, this was just a train wreck, a accident waiting to happen. And I'm surely there are some people who are to blame for this. Whether or not heads will roll, time will tell, but it really should happen because um this was just like an unforced error, or however they say that in football. But I can't help but think that this is a huge, huge mistake. Um, but let's go on. So while William is having his behind handed to him, I don't know if Charles is auditioning for La Caja Falls, or I don't know what he's doing. And that is a drag queen, and no, that is not Camilla. Um, that's some other dude, but that is a drag queen. So this is what Charles is doing to pass the time while his son is being skewered in the Western Hemisphere. Don't ask me why, but they're the Charles and Camilla are working royals. They have been busy, and in spite of the fact that Camilla has been under the weather, they have continued to work. But because you're not supposed to ask any questions of the royals, um, Charles just goes about his business, and nobody is shouting any like questions to him. Okay, I'm sorry. Look closely. Kate doesn't want to be around black people. One would get that feeling. Um, Again, I have to say this, and I know this is not popular, but I am going to give them credit for putting on a great performance. They are, um, even though there's a lot of missteps on this trip, I think that getting through with the grins and the handshakes and such, that they're good at. But the body language experts, they're not going to let anybody know exactly what they think about them, because that's not where the money is. The money is on the Sussexes. But yes, uncomfortable, nervous. I'm sure Kate's jaws, her face must ache from all the grinning that she's doing right now. So I'm going to give them credit for the performance that they're putting on. Mostly, we all see through it. We mostly see through it. I mean, we know the people that are, so Will and Kate, they can only carry this on for so long, but I'm sure that they're having restless, sleepless nights. Some said, in where you laid off and fired next, to the picture of Oprah Winfrey when asked the Duchess, were silent or silenced. Yes, yes, yes. Mm-hmm. So were you laid off or fired? Okay, let's see here. Like that name though, Favi Baron. Hello, everyone. Is Jelaine here with us, or so make me happy? Let me see. With us, if so makes me happy, as a great loss is being mourned by the live chat. I feel it's an amazing therapy. Okay, I like to think so. I like to think so. I mean, I hope that this gives us a chance to, like, relieve some of the anxiety or tension, or in it, whatever um, is like giving you anxiety about the Sussexes and the future and stuff like that, or any other topic, I hope that we can help navigate our way through that. Okay, let me see. Doesn't matter because as she's a mean girl, she is. It's like putting lipstick on a pig. It doesn't matter what shade you choose, it's still a pig. Hi, Sugar Queen. You say, I'm sorry, I'm not in the grace extending mood today. He wanted the attention. He needs to realize that he will be king someday and will be dealing with people of all races, religion, etc. That is very true, Sugar Queen. They did want the attention. They worked very hard to push the Sussexes out of Narnia. And for that reason, they have the spotlight, but they can't handle the heat. They can't handle the heat. What comes naturally to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex is very painful to them. I mean, look at William's face. Look at the clenched hands. Look at how his hands are clenched. And Kate is behind him trying to maintain. But William is very tense. So I don't know that he's so angry as right now he's very tense. Once a snake, always a snake. I don't care how you dress it up or dress it down, there's still a snake. Thank you, Iris. Okay, let's go to the next one, shall we? So, the British Empire controlled Jamaica for more than 300 years and forced hundreds of thousands of African slaves to toil the islands under brutal conditions. So that was CBS's photo. Uh, as we all know, that is a photographer, Chris Jackson's photo. Protesters in Jamaica greet Prince William and Kate with demand the UK apologize, and it cuts off, for slavery. And that is what CBS News used for um, to, I guess, promote the news about the tour. And then the dual realities is the BBC. William and Kate dance and taste chocolate during 2 days of Belize tour. Oh, okay, that cuts off. Let me see. Okay, there we are. They were shaking their waist like nobody's business and said a local woman who danced with the Duke. Well, that is the dual reality. So, on the one hand, there is a bit of animosity with the tabloid press in the UK and CBS because CBS called them out with the Oprah interview. So, there's a little history there where, in particular, Lord Nappyhead's paper was outraged with and I'm not saying Lord Nappyhead directly, I'm just saying Lord Nappyhead's paper was outraged because CBS actually used some of those headlines in the Oprah Winfrey story that were so damaging to the Duchess of Sussex, and even blurred out the one particular headline that sound like they were using the N word. I don't want to show it to you because it's a bit too upsetting, and I don't want to take us there right now. But it is very offensive. Um, I forget who the writer was for that particular story, but by using that particular word, I wish I had to blur it out when I would show it to you, but I don't have that one. But by using that particular word, it was deeply offensive in reference to the Duchess of Sussex. And that was something that was written in the Daily Fail. And so, because of that, um, there is this bad blood, not only with the Fail, but with the other tabloids for the way that they use very nasty and suggestive headlines to damage, hurt, insult the Duchess of Sussex. And so here, CBS right here is once again, if if let's say if you just beam down from space or you have been living under a rock for some time, this headline almost seems like something you would expect. I don't know from a I, not a the how am I trying to put this? American media has been too friendly and too cozy with the tabloid media and with the British royal family, and so I'm surprised of the language that they used here, along with the image of these hands extending through a chain link fence. It suggests so much. I'm glad they did it because it kind of conveys the spirit of what we're feeling about the tabloid press and about the British royal family at this time. For some of us who, were caught up in the fantasy of Narnia and all that kind of stuff, and kind of in this haze of fairy tale where we almost forgot about the amount of blood that was spilled in order to make this fantasy come true. Um, we have been awakened. We have been awakened, and that is because of the Duchess of Sussex. We were reminded of where the money comes from how the empire was built. And we who watched Princess Diana get married and have started following the royal family from that point, myself included, I didn't make the association. It wasn't until probably almost the same time the Duchess entered the family, and of course, more and more history is being told. And as I mentioned in 2018, I traveled to Liverpool, and I took a walking tour around Liverpool where Lawrence Westgaff actually pointed out all of these buildings and homes and institutions that were built on the back of the slave trade. I wasn't even aware of how much. I didn't know where the money came from. And so by the royal family mistreating Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, someone who is supposed to be part of the family, by them mistreating this woman of color from the United States, a descendant of slaves, my eyes have been open and I can never close my eyes to it again. I will never look away from it again. My eyes have been open, and I owe it all to the mean girl and the bully because of their um, aggression against the Duchess of Sussex, their manipulation, because of all the phone calls coming from inside the palace. I can never go back. It's like I've waken up, I've stepped out of the matrix, and now I'm in the harsh light of day, and I have no choice but to face things for what they are. I can't ignore this. This is real, and this is where they are right now. Um, they're trying to make amends, or at least try to keep the peace and keep the Commonwealth, whatever you want to call it. But nobody's going back. This is the start of something big. This is going to, I mean, you know how they said this is the worst thing that has happened in 85 years to that family. You know what? They may be right. They may be right. Maybe it's not the other guy with, they managed to suppress that story. We're not thinking about him anymore. It may be because of the way they mistreated a woman of color from the United States. And if that is the hill that they fall on or die on, then so be it. They asked for it. That's what you get for messing with the wrong person. Who would have ever thought that the old playing book, business as usual, would cost them so much? But it is costing them, and it's costing every day. And as poverty rises in the United Kingdom, I mean, I've been watching and listening and reading about how much people are suffering in this current economy. um, is all of that other stuff really sustainable? I don't know. I mean, it's not like the old days where people were just glad to be. Now people are actually asking questions, especially the young people. What is the point of it? Anyway, that was my soapbox. Let me look at a couple of your comments because uh I'm in a particular mood right now. I am in a particular mood. Oh, thank you, Janet Smith. I'm in a particular mood. Liverpool was where all the slave ships completed the triangle. The buildings show black boys in chains. People should look up on the buildings where, when sightseeing, all the country wealth in plain sight. And Lewis, I was there. I even went to the Maritime Museum to see the exhibit on the black merchant marine seamen. I saw that. And they also had an exhibit on the slave trade. And let me tell you something, when I walked through that exhibit, every white person in the room just kept looking at me. They wanted to hug me. They wanted to ask me questions. They wanted to know what I was thinking. But they all seemed to have, and this is what reassures me. They all seem to have a look of sorrow in their eyes. They were concerned about me in that moment. How was this affecting me? Because the things that they were looking at were absolutely horrible. The collars and the chains and the diagrams of the slave ships, all of that stuff was rising up to eye level, and they couldn't look away, and they could not stop looking at me. I was the only black person in the room. I didn't see any other black people in there. And let me say, to the credit of the people who were there, the white people, men, women, children, I have to give them credit for the very dignified and open-minded way that they took in that knowledge. Because I was reading their faces, trying to figure out, who's going to say something stupid, and that didn't happen. So that was a great experience. Again, it was eye-opening, and perhaps I'll do a video one day, and I'll show you some of the photos that I took while I was in Liverpool. And everybody asked me, they said, well, did you go see anything about the Beatles? No, I wasn't there for that. I'm a bit of a nerd, and one of my favorite things is the Victorian Industrial Revolution and all of the architecture and infrastructure that was created during that time of incredible wealth building. And so, this, of course, was the post slavery era and more to do with just the industrialization of the Midlands and such. And so that's why I was there. That's what I wanted to see. As much as I love the Beatles, that wasn't my first intention when I went to Liverpool, Birmingham, Manchester. I wanted to see what was left of all of the infrastructure and industrial buildings and such. So that was my main purpose. I'm a real nerd, you guys. As much as you might be disappointed, I'm a bit of a nerd, and architecture is like one of my first loves. So that's why I was there. But while I was there, I learned about so many things that I didn't know about the wealth of Liverpool, and of course, how the British uh, would manage to build the empire, and not only with Africans, but India, Asia. Let me tell you guys something that I just heard the other day, if I'm not being a little bit too much right now with this. Um, when let's see, who was the prime minister that went to Hong Kong when they gave it back to China? Was it oh gosh, what was his name? Anyway, when he went there, he he said, this, highly educated man, he said that he didn't have a good understanding about the Opium War and how the British Empire used opium to enslave the Chinese via Hong Kong and enrich themselves in the process. So this whole idea of the sun never sets on the British Empire, the British has built quite a nest for themselves. Yeah, Tony Blair. Thank you so much, Tony Blair. Whew, good God, it's like pulling teeth. I was waiting. I'm just like, okay, okay. I'm like, okay, okay. Somebody help me out. Thank you so much, Tony Blair. Whew. I got nervous for a second there. I couldn't think of that name to save my life. Yeah, thanks, VC. Thank you, J9. But yeah, Tony Blair. So that was a revelation. He said, I hate to believe that with all of his education and knowledge, I, as an American from the Midwestern United States, know a whole lot about how the British enslaved the Chinese. Has been invaded by the British. They have been invaded by the Japanese. I mean, the Chinese have had a tough time of it. So right now, when people are kind of what do you call it, xenophobic or whatever against the Chinese, just consider what they've been through. Just consider what the Chinese have been through with foreign invaders. The Chinese has never invaded another land in their history. They used to even trade as far as South Africa, but they never, ever held military bases in another land until now. And where did they build their first foreign base that I know of? I believe it was in Africa. Because look out, Africa, here they come. Um, that's all I can say is here they come. Anyway, let's move on. I'm in a very historic mood right now, thanks to this trip to the Caribbean. And you guys thought I was just a pretty face. I understand that. I get that. I mean, the idea that I don't know, just a pretty face or something like that. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, who would not mistake me as someone who's beautiful with no brains? I would. I would even date me, I think, but I digress. Anyway, let's get back to the chat, shall we? The platinum jubilee. The platinum jubilee. This is like an omen. The as soon as they misspelled jubilee and put jubilee, everybody should have known that this was going downhill and fast. Even the image of Her Majesty the Queen. Um, Now, I just said that Prince Charles was talking to a drag queen. Well, not only has he been talking to a drag queen, they got one right there on the plate. I don't know if that's Dame Edna or what, but that's not the queen. Oh, maybe she's kind of looking a little more. But again, I digress. Um, and so the whole thing about this trip was with this notion that the Jubilee, the 70 years on the throne, was something that would unify the Commonwealth. How tone deaf can you be? Does does anybody, I mean, I get it that there are older people who are you know part of the Commonwealth who believe in the royal family, who believe in this idea of the old empire. I mean, think about it. Until the 1970s, Commonwealth Day was actually called Empire Day. But they finally changed it because it just seemed too, you know, imperial. It was a reminder of where the money came from. And so when you think about that they were still using the term empire, even though since World War II, they've only gotten smaller, not bigger. And I think it was kind of like this British exceptionalism and this pride that the British were somehow able to educate the world, to bring Christianity, to bring all these things that they took from other places, since the pagans, all these things that they brought to Britain from the other places. Now, thanks to the empire, they kind of thought they were giving something back while they were taking. And so people have been brainwashed, myself included, with this whole fantasy about how, oh, yeah, those things are left in the past and none of that stuff is happening now. But it turns out up until what, 2015, they were still paying reparations to the families that owned the plantations in the Caribbean. They were still paying reparations to the families for slavery, and there were no provisions forthwith for the actual ancestors of the enslaved people. Can you guys hear that? They only just finished paying reparations since the abolition, should I say, of slavery, and now they are only just now um, hearing people cry out for reparations. They're not going to pay it, of course. Gordon Brown, was it, or was it the other guy who said, move on, move on? No, it wasn't Gordon Brown. It was that other horses behind. But yeah, he said, move on. Don't even think about it. That it was what it was. It is what it is. And now we're moving on. You should too. We got a lot in common, even though, if you dare, as a Jamaican, try to visit the motherland, the so-called motherland. Thank you very much, you guys. David Cameron. I couldn't remember his name for nothing either. But yeah, thank both of you. Um, if you try to visit the motherland, you better get a visa. And even if you're Nigerian and you want to see the Benin bronzes, something that belongs to Nigeria that's in the British Museum, they say, well, it's there for safekeeping. But if you want to see it, you better get a visa. See what I'm saying? If you are part of the Commonwealth, you better have a visa. If you want to see the stolen goods from your home country that's in the British Museum or wherever, you better have a visa. But if you're from Canada, you don't need a visa. As an American, I don't need a visa. But there's so many people in the Commonwealth who do not have free crossing of the border. They have to have a visa. So so far, we have established that it's not really a commonwealth. It's not the queen could not be your sovereign, cannot be the head of state in the country where you actually need a visa to come and visit the motherland. How does that work out? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. So anyway, let's move on. So right there, you have part of the problem. Part of the problem. And that is the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, as I affectionately call them, because this looks like the choir that I've known growing up, where you might see one face of color, you probably don't see any. That's how I remember seeing the Mormon Tabernacle Choir on TV. Now, things have changed. The Mormon church is more diverse, even though there was a time when they didn't think you could be black and a Mormon at the same time, but suddenly they've had some epiphany, and now you can be black and Mormon and other things too. But that's the problem right there, is that group of people. Those are the people who William listened to. But is he listening? Or those are the people that are near William? Because I find it hard to believe that he's actually listening to anybody. And I find it hard to believe that any of them have enough sense to give them any type of advice or guidance that will help. This is why diversity matters. This is why representation matters. If you guys remember, even before Omid Scobie just wrote that on the Twitter, I have been saying that for quite some time. I mentioned it about the Supreme Court justice. The Duchess of Sussex mentioned that in the interview with Oprah Winfrey, that when a person sees someone that looks like themselves, you have no idea how important that is. Of course, she wasn't speaking to Oprah. She wasn't speaking to us. She was speaking to them. She was speaking to those people, and anybody who's narrow-minded, shallow depth of a cranium believes the same thing. Those are the people that she was speaking to. We already know that. We don't need that type of information. We live it. We already know. But were they listening? They were trying to figure out, how can we call her a liar? How can we downplay anything that she says? We have to muddy her up. We're not going to listen. We have to muddy her up and make sure nobody believes anything that she's saying. Do we need to change? Not so much. That's the problem. There was nothing to be had from that. I would like to believe that William and Kate are going to walk away from this um, train wreck of a tour enlightened, that they will know better, that they could, as pitiful as they are, as ignorant, and they are, those are two very ignorant people. As ignorant as they are in positions of power, and they could do some good if they wanted to. Not likely to happen, but they're in that position. So mark it down. Thursday, 24 March, 2022. Royal Sussex Baron said they could do some good if they choose to. Not likely to happen. So, but there's always that possibility if they choose the right path. I hope that for what they're going through right now, all the squirming and hand wringing, I hope they get something out of it. I mean, I'm not a hater. I don't hate anybody. I hope they get something out of it. I'm not so optimistic, but I'm going to hold out for hope. Hello, Ivy here. I needed that. Hello, Ivy here. Because of this happened. You get that? Because of this happened. This happened because of this. That lack of diversity, that you know, this happened. That happened. Now, again, I believe these photos were taken from the photographer Chris Jackson. And I was listening to Petal earlier, and boy, I tell you, Petal was getting down, wasn't she? I was listening to Facts and Two Cents Petal earlier, and she mentioned that Chris Jackson was the photographer, and that maybe, or I think it was Petal that said that maybe he was trying to, in a way, be very neutral and at the same time expose expose that lack of diversity and that out of touch thing that they got going on. I don't know. The optics are absolutely horrible. And again, I hope they get something out of this. I'm not so optimistic. I mean, this is an absolute train wreck. This should have never happened. They're supposed to be people, and that's what Omid Scobie said, that they're supposed to be people who make sure that they don't get into these situations. And the only way that, I mean, they really, really could use a real PR person, not somebody that somebody knows, not somebody who has kissed their way into Kensington Palace, but a real PR person. And maybe they can, do something with what has happened here. Not so much. Not so much. Anyway, let me take a look at some of your comments here. Mo Shannon says, how copycat gonna learn diversity when she's scared to be touched by a black person? Absolutely. Let's see. Charles is busy with his courgette, is that courgette supply from his organic farm to his society group. He's having fun since Gary, the wino, is rooting for his niece to be the queen. Oh, Uncle Gary. Uncle Gary, that is Kate's uncle, her wayward uncle, the one who, I tell you what, just look him up and you can see how he's been found wanting in his character. Um, there's even one photo that reminds me of Studio 54. You know what I mean? You know how sometimes in the dead of summer it was always snowing inside of Studio 54? There's one photo that kind of reminds me of those snowstorms that they had in Studio 54. So, anyway, some of my comments are deliberately ambiguous, thus allowing to the listener to glean from it whatever he or she may. So, Look it up. Lydia Washington says, we are over 800 in the chat. Please hit the like as if you were hitting Prince William in the head to knock some sense into him. I wouldn't want to shatter my knuckles by doing that. I mean, that is just like bone on steel or bone on granite or something. Okay, Joyce says Chris. If Chris Jackson took the pictures, he had taken pictures for a while of the royal family. This should have been viewed by a good PR staff person on their team before those pictures were released. Joyce, that is true, but due to a lack of understanding, because of a lack of diversity, because they are drunk with power and authority, do you think any of those people would actually get it? Now, the one who might get it, I think, is no longer there. And that, of course, is that little weasel, Jason Knopf. He might have got it. I mean, after all, he's from Texas. And I think he would know what bad optics are. But as for the rest of them, not so much. I mean, this looks like Brady kids have grown up or something, you know? The Where Are They Now Brady kids. That's what they look like. And I don't think they get it. I don't think they get it. So, all right, let's look at that. Okay, so there you have all of these people that protested. They said it may have been as few as 60. You know what? I hope they're right that it was as few as 60 because those few people have been seen and heard all over the Commonwealth. I wouldn't care if it was just 10 of them. The point is, for such a few people, you see how dismissive they are? For just a few people, I bet you everybody heard them loud and clear. Say you're sorry. Reparations due, right? Kate and Will's Jamaican tour is a complete waste of time as Queen faces dethroning. That was what the Express said. Of course, the Express, they're more headline than actual story. I've learned that about the Express. They are more headline than story. Scores of Jamaicans turn up in the British High Commission in St. Andrew this morning to protest the royal visit. So there they are with their placards. And of course, the woman with the blonde highlight afro and her daughter, they have been the ones interviewed quite a few different media outlets. And of course, you know, I'm going to build a shrine to them. I love those two. Okay, Lynn says I was in Denmark and a crooked politician did a shady deal with a Chinese developer. People of Denmark were in an uproar over this. The position, I'm sorry, well, I think you mean the politician resigned, right? Um, yeah, I mean the politicians are not serving us. They're not serving us. The iceberg homes, and you know what? I meant to get a photo of that to share it with you if you haven't seen it. But look up London iceberg homes. The money that is being stashed from foreign nationals in London because they feel their money is safer there. And if they are from Russia and if they are from China, they're probably right because those two governments they're not so I say this. I'd rather go through an American, British, Canadian court and quite a few other countries before I would want to go through a Chinese or Russian court. Not to disparage the Russian or Chinese people, not to disparage them, but I would rather go through courts over here than over there when it comes to quite a few things because there's a reason why they stashed their money in the West. There's a very good reason for that. Okay, so moving right along. Um, oh, okay, I just got some good news. Thank you for that. Okay, I'm cutting my phone off though. Oh boy, that was really good news. I can't talk about it right now though. All right, so let's go to the next. Oh, we just finished the slide. So you know what? As a treat to you all for being so cool, I am going to share something with you. Uh, I am going to be a little shady. I hope y'all don't mind. We're going to have a little shady break in between this and some other interesting topics. Someone must have told Kate that she needed to touch people, but didn't tell her how holding your hands out as if to be kissed or poking kids through a fence is not. Is that appropriate? Shaking hands like Meghan. Okay. Let's take a little shady break. Shady break coming up. Let me see. Who do I want to do first? Because I got two of them. Might as well do this. I think this is more in line with things. Miss Scarlett. I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. Miss Scarlett. How are you going through this issue of colonialism? How are you being instructed to pay reparations for slavery, and then you show up looking like Scarlett O'Hara? I don't get it. Miss Scarlett. I don't understand. What were they thinking? Tone deaf. This beauty queen Barbie doll outfit she's wearing. Oh, Lord, please save them from themselves. I don't understand what was going on. How did this happen? You don't have a good PR person. You don't have a good stylist. You just don't. I don't get it. Bad things happen to mean girls. Miss Scarlett, I don't know nothing about birthing no baby, Miss Scarlett. At any moment, I'm expecting Butterfly McQueen to come running in there. Where's Hattie McDaniels? I mean, oh, y'all, like I say, I give them credit for maintaining throughout this thing. As you can see, she's starting to feel the pressure right here. This is what the air hostess fought so hard for her to receive is a trip to the Caribbean to cosplay Scarlett O'Hara to spend the rest of her life with that dim-witted husband of hers. I mean, this could not have been on her, list of things to do before I'm 40. Or is she 50? No, 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 40. This couldn't have been on the list. I mean, I won't even say bucket list, but at least the kind of things you want to achieve before 40. As I said, there's always room for them to do some good things and to make something out of a very bad situation. Um, again, clueless. Clueless. I don't know if that's supposed to be the Joker. I don't know what she's got going on there. But as you can see with the hand wringing right there, that's the real Kate. That's the real Kate. When she's not animated in front of the cameras, when nobody's looking, that's Kate. Yeah, yeah, a prom dress. A prom dress. I swear she looks like an extra from the movie Carrie. Um Now, this is going to boil your blood a bit, but let's just go back and take a look at how we got here. It all seems so business as usual. I mean, the whole thing about touching more people and touching people of color, obviously, she was practicing on St. Patrick's Day. That was when she started practicing. And anyway, so there you have Miss Scarlett O'Hara goes to Ireland. Catherine the Great goes to Ireland. She has the Kate's Country Cottage Kitchen curtain dress on, aka Jolly Green Giant, and then she has on the widow's dress. I forgot the name of the company. They call it something widow's dress. And the, girl, stop wearing green. Stop wearing green. I think I don't know why she keeps doing that, but she won't effing stop wearing green. And if you thought the dress looked kind of iffy from afar, take a look at the close up. Take a look at the close up. Now, I'm telling you, she's channeling Miss Scarlett O'Hara, and she's also giving me Carol Burnett channeling Scarlett O'Hara. If you know the storyline from Gone with the Wind, when she was supposed to meet Rhett Butler and she didn't have anything to wear, she snatched down the drapes, and he was just like, "Oh, that dress, Miss Scarlett, that dress." And of course, Carol Burnett said, "Do you like it? It's just something I saw in the window and I couldn't resist." Well, if you look on the left, that looks like something that she saw in the window. Kate's Country Cottage kitchen curtains. Yeah, that's another outfit. Not to be confused with the one in the middle. That's a whole nother outfit. They have the money. They have the money. Fashion is not something that you buy. Fashion is, well, I'm sorry, taste is something that you have. Fashion is something that you can buy, right? Well, some people can buy it, but look at how the Daily Mail is trying to push. Have they no, can they see? Can they see? Are they able to actually see what they're pushing? I mean, this is really, really sad. Again, I'm not hating anybody. I'm just saying. And look at her. It's almost as though she's telling the guy, I don't know what happened. I just can't stop wearing green. Green is my power color. I mean, jazz hands and all. She's all animated, geeked up. I'm assuming she's telling this guy about how much she loves to wear green. Although I dare to say the green is wearing her. And so then, of course, it wouldn't be the fail if they didn't try to have some tie into Princess Diana. Okay. If you can hear me, Kate, if you can hear me, Diana wore that 40 years ago. That was 40 years ago. It was the 80s. It was the 80s. That was 40 years ago. You don't have to do this. You don't have to. I mean, if you want to, you can, but you shouldn't. I get that you're trying to pay homage to your mother in law. I get that you're trying to celebrate prom night everywhere, but you don't have to do this. I mean, there's so many things that she went out of her way to put that on. If I was the designer, I would just turn off my phone. I would get off of social media. I would disappear. I would go into the couture witness protection program because there is just no excuse for that. It is very modest. I mean, if she just comes out smiling like she causing it. I don't get it. Anyway, someone asked me who the designer was. I'm gonna look that up right now. Um, Kate's evening gown. I'm sure they probably oh, I don't know. I think the gown was like $4,500, if you could believe that. I want to say I saw the price somewhere, and it was $4,500. See, I forgot to put Jamaica. Okay. So, Harper's Bazaar. Let me see. I'm looking. Designer is a favorite of the royal for important events. Okay, I'm looking. Who is the designer? Huh. Oh, Jenny Packham. Jenny Packham. That's the name. I looked right past the name. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, you're on it. Jenny Packham. Thank you. Yeah, Jenny Packham. I've never heard of her. And you know what? after this, we'll probably never hear from her again. We shouldn't hear from her again. I thought it was 4,500. Was it 45,000? 4,500. I thought it was 4,500. God, tell me that was 4,500. Anyway, you guys, so that was that. So let's go to the next one on the list. I need to move a little faster here if I'm going to finish in about another hour. Okay, so we have, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? Let me go to her video. Let me find the video, the one that was so controversial, and then we'll talk about her. Gosh, if I can find it. Uh, 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 uh. Okay. Let me see. You know what? I don't have that video handy. The one where she supposedly looked away from Kate. But without that, let's get into it anyway. Okay, yeah, let's get into it anyway. All right, let me take this away. All right, take that away. And let me bring up the slides for her. Lisa Hanna, that's her name. Former beauty queen turned politician. Lisa Han. Oh no, that's not it. That is the wrong one. Oh yeah, yeah, that is it. That is it. Um, I put it on the tail end of this, but just before I talk about Lisa, take a look there. In picture, Prince Harry and Kate arrive in Belize. Somebody's got Harry on their mind. Then there's also growing calls in Caribbean to cut ties to monarchy as royals fly out, meaning that they're flying to the Caribbean. And of course, there was the arrival. There is a person of color. Kate is actually hanging on to her. Looks like she wants to pull away, but I'm just being shady. I don't know if that's the case. Uh, and Charles II, it was Queen Elizabeth I who was reigning and allowed the slave trade to begin. And they said it was Charles II who ramped things up. So uh, there we go. See no reason. Okay, Dr. Shola, we looked at these yesterday. Dr. Shola spoke about the open letter. That, and let's get to, let me just be a little shady right here. Let me be a little shady right here. I'm pretty sure y'all saw this, but if not, I'll share it with you again. Um, that is the invisible contract at work. The invisible contract. On the left side was the photo that was airbrushed. I don't know if that's a Chris Jackson photo or not. And on the right side, this is in Belize now. Notice same earrings and everything. Notice how the earrings on the left are all fuzzy because they're airbrushed. And on the right, Memorex. Memorex. It is, no, I'm sorry. Memorex is on the left, the live is on the right. I'm showing my age, right? Is it live or is it Memorex? Well, you can see on the right side exactly what was airbrushed away. That is how you look when you're in the tropics. Well, that's how she looks. A little dewy, a little shiny. I mean, there's humidity, there's great weather and everything. But the other one on the left is very matte because it has been thoroughly airbrushed. That is the invisible contract. Yeah. And okay, I did not snub Kate Middleton, but Jamaica needs more than royal regrets over slavery. Now, Lisa Hannon, let me tell you something. She ain't no punk. She ain't no punk. As a matter of fact, she wrote in the Guardian about her experience. And she was very feisty, although she did say that she has respect for the Duchess, for William. She has respect for the royals and for the British people, the government. She has respect for everyone. She said, as Jamaicans, we are very respectful. As Jamaicans, we welcome everyone. But one thing she didn't say was that she was sorry because there was nothing to apologize for. She didn't do anything wrong. There was actually, she shared on her social media images of herself interacting with the Duchess of Cambridge. There was no animosity. She said that the video that everyone watched was edited, and yet the Daily Mail seemed to try to ruin her life yesterday. They seem to have had an effort to try to ruin her life, and she was not moved by it. She made sure that she set the record straight, and then she went on to throw the focus back on the apology and back on reparations. And that's where the focus should be. Don't look at me, start looking at some reparations. So I think she's a very courageous person. To have taken that stance rather than to give in to this idea that they can, I guess in effect try to bully her, but that's what they were attempting to do. They were trying to bully her. They were trying to destroy her reputation and such, and she wasn't having it. She was not having it. So, cheers to her. Oh, a matter of fact, I think I just found the video, and I will share it with you guys again. Let me see. Let me see. Get this up. Okay. Nope. That's Will and Kate in Ukraine. We already saw that one. I won't have you sit through that one again. Okay. Oh, fiddlesticks. Pardon my language. Pardon my language. Okay. This is not happening. This is not happening. Let me see. Nope. Nope. I'm sorry, you guys. I cannot find it. I have it and I saved it and it's just not handy. So we'll continue to the next slide until such time. Okay. Oh, you know what? I got it. I got it. I got it. Don't worry. I got it. I got this. Ah, come on. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? There it is. So you can see. Now, she said that this video was totally out of context. I'm not going to show you the video where they interact with each other very clearly, but there was a conversation even at that point. But it is said, she said that this video, you see what I mean? It just, it's something that wasn't right about it. In this one, this is the other video. I'm going to say this about this other video. Kate is wearing the sapphire ring on that finger. Kate is wearing the sapphire ring. It is that possibility that she is terrified of losing Diana's ring. Okay, am I being fair to someone who I just said was on prom night? I think there's that possibility that she is terrified of losing that ring. So I'm not just going to trash them for the sake of trashing them. This one, I'm going to take Lisa Hanna at her word that this was taken out of context. And as for the other one, either Kate don't like people touching her, she don't like black people touching her, or she's afraid of losing that sapphire ring. You have to judge for yourself. You may have seen the interaction with LeBron James. Don't know. Don't know. I'm not in her head. So I don't know. Come on over here, baby. You need a ham sandwich. Come on here, baby. You need a ham sandwich, baby. Come on over here. I know this is difficult, but you disappearing, and I need to cook you some food. It could have been as no, 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 girl. Come on over here. You need something to eat now. Let me fix you. Let me fix you. Let me stop. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, yep. Oh, I'll tell you what. Uh, recollections may vary. Recollections may vary. Ain't that what the palace said? Recollections may vary. So, woo! Let me fix you something to eat, baby. You about to disappear. Well, I ate a whole Tic Tac. You need more than the Tic Tac. Catherine Mark, hello, welcome to the live chat. Let me see. No doubt Daily Phil saw Lisa Hanna's tweet over the years regarding Meghan, which is, oh, you know what, Vinny Blair? I'm glad you said that. I wasn't through with that topic. Let's continue. So, this is what the Daily Fail has tried to do to Lisa Hanna. They are trying to paint her as the angry black woman. I don't know what she is, but I think they're trying to paint her as the angry black woman. Kate given cold shoulder. Fans cringe over embarrassing moment. Duchess is shunned by Jamaican beauty queen turned politician whose party is in favor of removing the queen as head of state. Duh, is that the real story? Miss World turned politician turned political power player who snubbed Kate twice, married former farmer's daughter. Did they just call her a farmer's daughter? Twice married farmer's daughter, Lisa Hannon, says she has a pleasant chat. Had a pleasant chat with the Duchess despite wanting to remove the Queen as Jamaica's head of state. Well, I don't know. Why would anybody want to remove the queen as head of state? I mean, what is the necessity? Oh, yeah, there's that. Okay, never mind. Okay, Kate seemed overwhelmed by all of the black people around her. Where is her security team? White people don't like being the minority. She clearly was scared. Miss Yanni Travels, that is a very good point. That is a very good point. Maybe because of the fact that she has been so sheltered by the air hostess and all the social climbing, nothing prepared her for that moment when she would see black people. I see black people. Like she was in some type of apocalyptic horror movie. I see black people. You make a very, very valid point. I see black people. Okay. So here's the problem too. Notice the photo with the red arrow. There's Lisa Hanna and there's Prince Harry. She met Prince Harry some time ago, and maybe that's what their beef is because she has had this meeting with Harry before. I don't know. Maybe they have stayed in contact for various causes. Maybe she's been in contact with the Duchess of Sussex. Who knows? But for whatever reason, the Daily Fail seems to have it in for her. There you can see her tweet. Today, I welcomed Prince William and the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate, to Jamaica on behalf of the leader of opposition in celebration of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. And there she is laughing and with Kate. And there at the bottom left, you can see that she's actually having a conversation with Kate. Now, the photo is rather blurry because they're on the windswept airfield as she was there to greet the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. So All is not what it appears to be. I know this video looks rather damaging, but as she said, it doesn't actually, tell the story. That it is just something that was designed to cause her embarrassment, and I take her at her word for it. How they treated Megan, so Kate deserves what she gets. The mean girl deserves what she gets. Baby, I said come on over here now. I done made you some pork chops smothered in gravy. Um, Miss Thing, you about to disappear, so come on. No, I said you need to come over here and eat something. You about to pass out. Now get on over. Get. Now get. Now get on. Oh Lord. Let me stop. Okay, so that was that. And any comments before we go on to Megan? Remember, this is one of the few times where I'm actually going to cover everything I just mentioned. The blame game begins. So let the blame game begin. So we're going to do the Sussexes together. And then I got another dress code violation. Or would you guys like to do that one first? Want to do that one first or no? Yes? The other dress code violation? The other fashion police moment? Okay, too late. So the Oprah Winfrey interview, Dan Wooten Tootin, that Wooten Tootin Dan Wooten, has decided that he would go on this campaign. Now remember, it was Dan Wooten who said in that very creepy voice of his, um, it's so much easier for them to blame anything uncomfortable on the R word rather than address the fact that the negativity toward them is coming from inside the royal family. It's so much easier. Oh my God, I hate to hear him talk. I hate to see his face. But Dan Wooten has decided that he would blame the Duchess of Sussex for this because if it wasn't for the Duchess of Sussex, and what was that other thing he said? The not conspiracy theorists, but what did he call us? The I can't think of what he said. He said something that we were come on, help me out. He said something about the squatties. Okay. I don't understand why you guys love Meghan and Harry. I can't stand any of them. I wish all royalty would disappear. It's idiotic. Well, Virtual Asylum, um, we're not just here for the royal family. We're here for Harry and Meghan. And if that is somehow a turnoff to you, why are you here? I don't understand. But to each their own. I love hate watchers. Okay, so propagandists. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Marion Owens. All right, Sash. Propagandists. Absolutely. We were called propagandists. I don't think I ever heard that before. I mean, I've heard propaganda, but propagandists. So, a propagandist. We are propagandists. Um, okay. Okay. I'll plead guilty to that if it means that somehow we let the world know how the Duchess of Sussex was mistreated by the royal family, by the establishment, by all the R wordists over there, all the R wordists over there. If that's what a propagandist is, then so be it. Yeah, I'm that. I'm on board with that. Dan Wooten, shame on Meghan Markle and her prop. Why didn't I just go to the next slide? Why didn't I just go to the next slide? Okay, shame on Meghan Markle. Oh, let me do it in his voice. Shame on Meghan Markle and her propagandists use the fantasy that the royal family is our word to derail Will's and Kate's Jamaican tour and destroy the Commonwealth. Oh, he sounds like some type of, I can't even think of the word, but it's creepy the way he talks. Um, if this is what causes that institution to collapse, then so be it. But the institution, which was founded 1,000 years ago, has always been available to take advantage of anybody's weakness, of anybody's ignorance, of anybody's anything lacking, um, especially if you can take a company like the West Indies Company or what's one of those other companies they had, and you give them the authority of the crown, and more importantly, you give them Bibles and guns, you use religion, you use coercion, you use ethnic and tribal disputes in order to conquer foreign lands. I guess anybody could do that. It just so happens to be it was the British. But as they have reaped so much from the wealth that they have gained from that, the people who have been conquered and brutalized, they want some of that money back. They want the sweat equity that goes into building somebody else's empire. Oh, I'm sorry. It's the Commonwealth, isn't it? He sounds like Dracula. It's so much easier for them to blame. Oh. But Dr. Scholler wasn't having it. Meghan Markle is not to blame for Prince William and Kate Middleton failed the my watermark is in the way. Apologies and reparations owed to Jamaica, Bahamas, or for the British monarchy being steeped in the R wordism. And of course, what else? The oppression and exploitation of Black people to date. Oh, thank you so much for that, Josie Adesoy. Thank you so much. And happy Thursday to you. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And thank you for being a member of this channel. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. And so I made a bet that you were not going to see the Duchess of Cambridge do this. I was wrong. She did give a speech. The people that she was speaking to was sitting about 100 yards away, but she did give a speech. It was very short and to the point, and it was about child development and child's brains and all that kind of stuff. But she did give a speech. So, okay, I was wrong. Dan Wooten is getting his 30 pieces of silver. Are you calling him Judas? Meghan will get blamed if she thought. I mean, if she thought of going into her own garden. The Sussex Squad is indeed effective. The false narrative of British royal family and British media is being and has been muted over and over again. The expected one way echo chamber has died. Yes, it has died. Okay. All right. So there's Harry, and there's the former prime minister, was she? And of course, there is Lisa Hanna behind him. So it was a good visit. And, Harry somehow managed to suppress this independence movement with his presence. But he's not there for that anymore. And I'm glad. I'm glad that Harry is not being put in a position where he is going to try to save the Commonwealth. Remember, God will do for us what we can't do for ourselves. And so when the royal family said no half in, no half out, that took all of the pressure off of the Sussexes. That relieved them of any responsibility for the Commonwealth. And so now that's going to leave it to that warm, friendly, the person who slept rough with a black man, that's going to leave it to him. I mean, look at those very sincere eyes. See how much he loves black people. He loves it. Can't you see it? It's written all over his face. He's not thinking, oh my goodness, why are there so many of them? He's not thinking that. Of course he's not. He's thinking about how much he just loves black people. Oh, he just love them. He can't get enough of them. Sleeping rough with them and everything. He just love black people. Ooh, just love them. Okay. I mean, they so nice and dark. I love black people. He just love them. I mean, his eyes just say he just can't get enough of them. His eyes are saying it's just not enough of y'all. I wish it was more of you. That's what his eyes are saying. Okay, I got to drink some water, y'all. I was getting a little dehydrated. So, what's old is new again. I mean, right down to well, notice she ain't touching her, but right down to the smile. What's old is new again. Now, she ought to receive an Oscar and a BAFTA and a People's Choice. That is an award winning performance if there's ever been. He once slept rough with a black man. Martin Luther Cambridge. That's who he is. That's old Martin Luther Cambridge. That's who he is. That old Martin Luther Cambridge. He just loves black folks. That old Martin Luther Cambridge. He slept rough with a black man. He keeps on sleeping. He keeps on rolling. Ladies and gentlemen, Martin Luther Cambridge. Okay, that's enough of that. Anyway. Oh, all right. What did Christ say to Judas? What thou dost, do it quickly. What he did was betray Christ, but the betrayal money was no use to him. Leave Wooten alone. He will go to his own place. I hope it's a warm place. I hope it's a warm place. Okay, so this was Harry's visit. Um, what was that? 10 years ago? 11 years ago? That was Harry's visit. Warm, friendly, engaging in comparison to the other one. I do wonder what the hell palace organizers were thinking with some of yesterday's photo moments. The planning and recon that goes into every step of these engagements is next level. So, how did no one think to avoid certain imagery? This is why diversity on a team matters. Now, that's what he said, right? Josie, thank you so much for that. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex, and happy Thursday to you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Dan Wooten. Oh, and thank you for the super chat. This is a super chat. Dan Wooten, he sounds like a fly hovering. I get that. So, this is what Omid Scobie has been talking about. And of course, this is what I have been talking about, that complete lack of diversity. Representation matters. See, representation matters. Okay. And on, the calls are coming from inside the house. The calls are coming from inside the house. Dan Wooten. The calls are coming from inside the house. It's so much easier for them to blame the negativity against them when the calls are coming from inside the house. Ooh, that just makes your skin crawl, don't it? Okay, so is that the right slide? Let me see. Okay, yeah, that's the right one. Yeah. This is right. Women don't need to find a voice; they have a voice, and they need to to feel empowered to use it. And people need to be encouraged to listen. That is what the Duchess of Sussex said. I love that photo. I found it on some Twitter site. The photo on the left with the quote, but and I also love the photo on the right. So we are finishing up. Yes, we're still doing Meghan and Harry. I think Meghan. Yeah, this is still the Meghan and Harry slide. So Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, interview with Oprah Winfrey is the most searched interview in Google history, and also worst royal crisis in 85 years. Right? Okay, that may be true. I didn't think so. I thought at first they were exaggerating. But if that situation there is what helps lead to the decline of the House of Mountbatten-Windsor, remember it is on their heads. It's not the Sussexes' fault, but and of course, it really didn't start with the Duchess of Sussex. It started hundreds of years ago with the transatlantic slave trade. And years later, one of those ancestors found their way into the House of Windsor because she met and fell in love with a prince of the realm. And so, fast forward to 2022 and a royal tour that has turned into a complete train wreck and a serious case being made for reparations. So, I say if that is the way it is, then so be it. If that is the worst crisis in 85 years, and that is what helped topple the House of Windsor, whose fault is that? What could I say? You should have treated her right. Okay. Beth Wade, someone on Celebrity said that Kate never having work shows in relations to her wearing the hot pink lame dress when everyone else was in linen or cotton. She does not know how to dress or act. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it is the tropics. It's a tropic night. You're in a tropical place. You're in the Caribbean. And the hot pink, I don't know what the point of that was, but it was an absolute disaster. William, I believe he wasn't wearing a necktie. He went kind of shabby chic, but I don't know. Maybe she just had that gown and was looking for the right occasion. Or maybe she thought, oh, I'm in the tropics. I'm caught up in the fantasy, the colors. Maybe that's why she decided to wear it. But either way, it was awful. So maybe if they would hang up the phone inside the house, it wouldn't be this trouble for the Cambridges. Yeah, they should just hang up that phone. Okay, as promised, studying Sophie, Countess of Wessex, puts on a glamorous display in a burgundy gown as she attends the Arab Women of the Year. Sophie Wessex was glamorous in a floor length burgundy gown this evening, showcased fashion credentials in an embroidered dress featuring mesh sleeves. Countess 47 celebrated achievements made by Arab women across the globe. So when you see a headline like that, okay, be honest, when you see a headline like that, what do you think she could have possibly have worn to turn the party, to steal the show, to win the moment, to be on the best dress list? Huh? I mean, Mr. Blackwell, where's Mr. Blackwell when you need him? God, I'm showing my age. When was the last time you've heard Mr. Blackwell? Is he dead? Remember Mr. Blackwell? He would give the critique of the Oscars, the way people dress for the red carpet or whatever. Mr. Blackwell's list. Well, where is Mr. Blackwell when the Countess of Wessex is near? Anybody? Okay, here's the big reveal. You ready for it? That that is the gown. Yes, that's it. Oh boy, I tell you. Um, it's so bad that even the lady that she's posing with, the Countess of Wessex thought that this religious woman, this I guess she's a nun, she probably thought that this nun was praying for her, right? That nun well, the nun is praying for her. The Countess of Wessex thought it was just a handshake, but that nun is praying, Lord, dear God, if you hear us, please tell Prince Charles to give the Countess of Wessex some money to buy some real clothes. I mean, that why won't that family share? They have what, $1 trillion in the offshore accounts? Please give her some money. She deserves money. She needs to dress better, or at least let her go back to work or something. She's not going to badmouth the royal family anymore. Yes, Edna, it is awful. Yes, yes, this is stunning, Sophie. Yeah, I'm stunned. It is stunning. Lord have mercy. Lord, please, somebody. I think they should start a GoFundMe. They should go start a GoFundMe to help her. That is a member of the British royal family. This family is so stuck in the 19th century. Yes, yes. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Look at that dress. It's stunning. I'm stunned. And then I don't know what that dark patch is, but there's a couple of them. It looks like somebody spilled their wine on it. It looks like there's wine spills on the dress, but I think that's actually part of the pattern or part of the problem. Oh Lord. I know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't make fun of her, but you can see the nun is praying for her. The nun is like, "Dear God, please help this child. Please." Sophie thought she was trying to shake hands, but she's praying for her. But I guess it runs in the family. Now, so I think it was that Black Queen told me last time. It looks like that Edwina's jacket was turned inside out. Remember that? Somebody said his jacket was inside out. That mauve color. I mean, you're right. They are stuck in the last century. I mean, she's wearing this, right? And then he's wearing that dusty rose mauve color. You know that was from the 80s. Remember everything was mauve? Yeah, so he's wearing mauve. Oh Lord. Uh. Okay. So, and let's not forget when she went to the royal carol wearing a bathrobe. That's what she wore to the Westminster Abbey for the royal carol. I guess when they say it's nothing formal, she takes them at their word. Well, I mean, check it out. He's got that couture maxi coat, right? He's wearing his maxi. Thank you so much, Hen Pal. Thank you for the super sticker. Happy Thursday to you. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. You guys, for a second day in a row, there's over 1,000 people in the live stream. I cannot tell you all how deeply honored I am. That is incredible. And I thank you guys to the bottom of my heart. I thank you all for that. Um, 2 days in a row having over 1,000 people in a live stream, especially on a Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening for some, Thursday morning, maybe for others. I really, really do value that. Thank you so much. So, I think burgundy is her go-to color, right? Somebody told her, Ooh, girl, that brings out the bloodshot in your eyes. What? No, that covers up your thighs. What? No, you look good in burgundy, I said. Oh, okay. And so she's been rocking the burgundy for a while. So if you look, that seems to be the Wessex go-to color is the burgundy. Even if it's a even if it's a bathrobe, burgundy is their go-to color. But I recently did some investigating, and if you all remember the Gumby outfit, the Cracker Jack boy outfit, I didn't know that she had repurposed that. She actually wore it to Westminster Abbey. Or as Dan Wooten would say, she actually wore it to the Westminster Abbey. Yeah, so she wore it before. But she was Catwoman in New York. I heard one of the squatties call her Catwoman. That was stunning when she decided to go to New York and get all into the whole Batman theme. I wonder if she's made like a cameo in that Batman movie, huh? But yeah, so oh, this poor lady. This poor lady. There's got to be something that she has in her closet. I better be careful when I say that. But there's got to be something that she has in her closet. Well, there's that. But her closet, not his closet. Okay, so there's got to be something that she has in her closet that, again, not to reference, you know, Edwina, that she can wear other than the cat suits. Oh, just remember there's always a surprise in every box. There's always a surprise in every box. I love the way she went charging across the field at Ascot like she was really fashion forward. And then, of course, she's got her fist balled up, and just in case somebody decides to say something snarky, she's got her fist balled up. Either that or she's like pretending to be Popeye. I don't know. But I will never, ever get past this blue jumpsuit. Ever. How could I get past it? I mean, it's so wide. Y'all ain't no good. I can't believe y'all laughing. I'm trying to have a serious moment. Uh I'm trying to have a serious moment where we can at least put in a request for Charles to come off some money to help pay for her clothes. There's got to be something that can be done. Now, I would say for her to talk to her sister in law, or I'm sorry, her niece. The Duchess of Cambridge is her niece. But of course, she could never fit anything that belongs to Kate. So yeah, it's too bad. Richard Fitzwilliam, rather. Richard Fitzwilliam. Yes, another Dick Williams, Fitzwilliam, another Dick. There's Dick, all the Dicks. What's their names? There's um Dick Palmer. Anyway, they're all over the place. So Dick Fitzwilliams, Sophie Wessex boosts royals with huge success in US after Meghan and Harry's damage. Did she really? Sophie is the exemplar of a hardworking member of the royal family with a relatively low profile, so low we can't even see it. She, she does a great deal of good. Um, Nobody knew she was in New York, and according to Celebrity, she actually brought her own photographer because there were no news outlets in the United States that were interested in the fact that she was in New York. The only way she would have made the news in New York is if she had gotten mugged. And believe me, anybody who sees this charging at them, ain't nobody gonna mug her. They wouldn't assume she has any money. I mean, does this look like somebody worth robbing? Would you shake her down for money? There was no concern that she could be abducted or kidnapped and held for ransom. That wasn't gonna happen. If somebody would have abducted her, they would have gave her money and took her down to Fifth Avenue or something. But there was no way in the world that anybody took the slightest notice that she was in New York City. I mean, after all, she was walking around like a cat burglar. So I just felt like being shady today. But yeah, this boasting the image of the royal family, I don't think so. If anything, this is the worst crisis that has happened to the royal family in 85 years. Not the Sussexes, but this blue jumpsuit, cat cat woman, bathrobe wearing, mother of the briding Sophie Wessex. That's the worst thing that has happened to the British royal family in 85 years. I wonder how much money she got from the bet that she would wear that bathrobe to the Westminster Abbey. Surely there was some type of wager that she would wear that bathrobe. And doggone it if she didn't do it. Wait, Sophie Wessex in nude illusion. Um, nude illusion. Now notice nobody's eye is drawn to the illusion. Okay, y'all, I gotta stop. Oh man. Okay, so that being messy, I'm sorry, that being said, any comments you all would like to share? Um, cause look at Prince Charles winking. Look at him winking. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot. How did I forget about these slides? I knew I had some other slides to get to. Sit back down, y'all. I ain't through yet. Um, see there, in my rush to be shady, y'all let me skip right over Charles. Did y'all notice that? Take a look here. Now, I had everything in order, right? I said I was going to do the Sussexes together. I just jumped right past Charles. But then again, according to the polls in the United Kingdom, everybody wants to jump past Charles. Well, if they do jump past Charles, believe me, once they jump to William, they'll be ready to jump back. Once they jump to William, they'll be like, nope. And then they'll jump back to Charles easily. So, Charles, I think, is part of the problem with this Royal Jubilee tour being a disaster. Charles has likely given a lack of guidance to William. William, of course, being so full of himself, was not likely to listen anyway. But if you notice here at this funeral, I'm sorry, at the Commonwealth Day, it just looks like a funeral. There's the girl in the back with the afro puffs. They got plenty black people up there so you can see them. I count one, two, three. I see one Asian person, perhaps, and yeah. But anyway, I'm just gonna count four black people because those afro puffs are big enough to be. Those afro puffs are big enough to be another person. So I'm just going, is that okay with y'all? I'm gonna count four black people. Because those afro puffs are as big as a person. So there's four black people in this photo. Him, her, and the afro puffs. uh, I mean, they're running out of royals. Have you noticed that? For some reason, Uncle Pennywise wasn't there, Edwina. And then Sophie, they sent her to New York. I'm sure Sophie is still trying to figure out what in the world am I doing in New York? I mean, I'm just saying. And then there's just four senior royals. There's four senior royals. I mean, they're running out of people. Well, we know why the queen's favorite son, we know why he can't be there. And then the queen does not want to be seen in a wheelchair, so she can't be there. They're running out of people. Do y'all know that? They are running out of royals. I'm surprised they didn't bring George with them. I mean, they take him to the soccer games, but they're running out of people. Can you believe that? They are running out of people. And then, of course, there's the silky chicken. There's only one reason that I brought this photo today. Y'all want to know why? I'm just being shady. That is Camilla crying at a women's shelter for abused women. Let me see. Can I think of anybody that has been abused in that family? Well, there was the Duchess of Sussex, right? And then, of course, there was Princess Diana. So, yeah, there has been some abuse in that household before. So, I don't know if she's crying for them or just crying. I don't know. This is Sean's favorite photo on the right. Is the patchy coat, the over the thigh boots. And well, actually, Mo Shannon, they said that's a silky chicken. See, I'll show you. That's a silky chicken. That is a breed of chicken that I got nothing. But that's a silky chicken. And while William is going through hell, Charles is entertaining a big fat chicken, a drag queen. So, you guys, on a more serious note, let's take it back down a bit. None of the royals have spoken out about child Q. None of them, which is absolutely sad. No one in the royal family is speaking up for child Q. So, I'm just saying, go home, go home. They want the Windrush people to go back to Jamaica while simultaneously welcoming oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Where did it go? There we go. While simultaneously welcoming Will and Kate, they're trying to encourage the Windrush generation to pack up and leave. So this is another reason why this trip is an absolute disaster. And as far as I know, no one in the royal family is speaking out about the Windrush people. It's as though they don't exist. Okay, we already talked about that. At least Charles did give the first speech about the atrocity of slavery. As Barbados becomes a republic, he was given his speech. And so, like father, like son, William did the same thing, and he even quoted his father. This beautiful sculpture is in Bridgetown. Some of y'all may have seen it before, especially if you are from the Caribbean, if you are from Jamaica. The Busa Emancipation Statue in Bridgetown symbolizes the breaking of the chains of slavery at the moment of emancipation. Now, that right there is worth a trip to Jamaica just to see this sculpture. I wouldn't care if it was only 3 feet tall. I would love to see that in person, but I think it's very poignant, very beautiful, very well executed. And there's Prince Charles with those childbearing hips of his. Have you noticed Prince Charles is starting to get those childbearing hips? I'm just saying. Prince Charles with his childbearing hips, um, congratulating the people of Barbados for their um, emancipation, if you will, for severing ties with the crown and his childbearing. I don't know why I thought about that. But anyway, but he does have childbearing hips, doesn't he? I'm just saying. I mean, he's 73, 74. He's entitled. I'm getting kind of punchy, you guys. It's been almost 2 hours. So that was the end of my slides. And I thought I had something left, but I just forgot all about Prince Charles. But then again, everybody else does too. But one thing I won't forget about are those childbearing hips. Okay, you guys. It's been fun. Any last comments as we say thank you to our faves? Princess Diana, the Queen of Hearts, and the Queen of Everything, Queen Doria. All right, that is that. So please tell me, anybody have anything they would like to add to today's banter? Today's, um, let me see, Riri in the background? Really? Where? I didn't see that. Oh, Rihanna. When you say Riri, I'm thinking Aretha Franklin. That was her nickname too, Riri. Don't be impressed by the loose emancipation statue. The chains were relocated from the physical body to the mind, spirit, finances, and opportunities. Well, that was very poetic. That was very poetic. Thank you for that. Charles did help with the Windrush and saved 70 people from deportation. I didn't know that, Janet. Thank you so much for saying that. I'm going to have to research that then. Notice Homila ain't with him. Yeah, she has the. I don't think that she's ever really recovered from the first time that she had the big C. And so, she is it's been a bit much for her, so they're not talking about it, but I think that she probably has some residual effects that are just not improving. Kate and William echo Queen and Prince Philip on final outing in Jamaica. They rode in the same open top Land Rover. Okay, I did see some of those comparison photos. 1,000 people watching, but only 600 likes. Everyone give a like, please. Yes, please give a like if you can. Please consider that. If not, immediately after the podcast, make sure you leave a like. Charles was sitting there uncomfortable when the Barbadian dignitaries were speaking. I was looking at the live stream. Really? I didn't see it. The Lord Nelson statue were removed in Barbados, Trafalgar Square, 2 years ago and before they became a republic. Well, that's good. That's good. She does a great deal of good. Says it all. Sophie is average and below and will make no impact whatsoever. Yeah, she has that thing. Even though I have so much fun making fun of her, Sophie has a charity, or she's a patron of something to do with vision in poorer countries, developing countries. So yeah, I'm not completely, just you know dismissing her. She does a lot of good, and to say otherwise would be disingenuous. So Sophie does work hard. She is singing for her supper. So don't take my sarcasm as all of that. Okay, Janet, don't give Charles any credit. He is a R-word colonizer for 70 plus years. He's abandoned his son and his family. Black Queen, you like to say it, don't you? Black Queen, listen to her. She's speaking the truth. That is true. Even though Charles seems like some kind of like grandfatherly childbearing hip innocent person. But behind those childbearing hips and those puffy hands is someone who left his eldest son ill equipped for life, and fortunately didn't have much input with his youngest son, which is why he has been incredibly successful. But yeah, we can't look past some of the things that Charles perpetuates day after day. Um, History is in the making. First African American woman. Yes, she will be the next Supreme Court justice. This lady, Kataji, has been vetted 3 times already. She has been vetted again and again. Everything that is happening in the Senate right now is all theater. It's all theater, and they know it. So unless they want to go through this again, they'll just go ahead and give her the nod and move on with it. Okay. All right. And Bridgetown is not Jamaican. They have their own version of the emancipation in Jamaica. Okay. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. All right. W, are you saying Charles caught the Big C in Barbados? I saw people were wearing masks. Charles had it when it first came out, and then he caught it again back in the UK. I don't think it happened in Barbados. I do not believe it happened in Barbados. When the Queen was made ill, that was when it happened. I'm not saying that he gave it to the Queen. I'm just saying that when Charles went to visit the Queen for their usual luncheon, Charles was there, and then 2 days later, he tested positive, right? And so he was fine before he went to go see his mother. Although he tested positive 2 days later, that means that, or should I say, it don't mean that he didn't have some type of symptoms before that. So then, of course, they said that there was some type of outbreak at the Windsor Castle, which I don't believe it. I think the outbreak has rosy cheeks, rosacea of the nose, puffy hands, and childbearing hips. That's the outbreak, if you ask me, allegedly. Yeah, whoever had the outbreak had childbearing hips. Hey, Charles. Oh, excuse me, Hey, Charles. Oh, I'm so sorry, my sinuses. Hey, Charles. So that is the source of the outbreak at the Windsor Castle. Charles, excuse me. Um, it's hard to stop. Oh my God, it's been over 2 hours. I got to get out of here, you guys. I'm just sitting up here rambling. Um, let's see. I ain't got much to say about her today. I'll get her next time. I'll get you next time. Okay. Who wants the last word of the day? Please say something positive that is capable of unifying us all. Something that says to one another, hey, we're in this together. We're part of the Sussex squad, et cetera, et cetera. It's a sad day that Charles should more tolerance and awareness of the world than his own son, William. William has turned out to be a big disappointment. I agree with you. I agree with you. Big disappointment. Oh, Meghan's podcast. Meghan's podcast. Yes. So you know what? I don't think I downloaded the slides for that. But I tell you what I'll do. Let's do this. Let's do this. Meghan's podcast. I'll do a screen share with the Archwell website. We'll go directly to the Archwell. Surely it's there. Is it under audio? Nope, nope, nope. Let me do this. I got this. No, it's not even on the website. So let me try something else here. I got this. Don't go anywhere, anybody. Stay right there. I got this. Give me just 1 second. Oh my God, I keep running into that green dress. That's what I get for talking about it. Okay. Oh no, it's not there either. Wait, wait, wait. I got it. Don't go anywhere, you guys. I got this. I got this. Okay. All right, all right, all right. We are going to discuss the podcast. Give me 1 second. We'll do a screen share. And for those of you guys who want to clock out, we're going to be very brief and then we're going to ginger adventure our way out of here. So screen share, screen share, screen share. Okay. All right, that's not working. Hold on. I got it. I got it. Nobody move. Aha, there we go. All right, all right, all right. Oh, Carly Ledbetter. Okay, yeah, let's go with Carly. Huffington Post. And screen share. Okay. Did that work? No. Wait, screen share. Oh, Lord. I can't bring it up right now. It's not letting me do it. I am so sorry. We'll talk about it next time. Anyway, you guys, Meghan has a podcast, and I have absolutely no slides or anything. But Meghan Markle's first teaser for her podcast, The Archetype, is here. The podcast from Spotify and Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's Archwell Audio will explore the labels that try to hold women back. See, I could just do it like that. Let me cue up a photo of our Duchess. All right. Okay. All right, here we go. The Archetype Podcast is a place where we can dissect, explore, and subvert the labels that try to hold women back, Meghan says in the teaser. And there is a teaser available for this. I will leave a link for the teaser in the community tab. I promise I will do that. I'll have a conversation with women who know all too well how these typecasts shape how these typecasts shape our narrative. The Duchess of Sussex adds in the clip, and I'll talk to historians to understand how we even got here in the first place. So that's what they're saying about the podcast. You can find that in the Huff Post. Again, I will link that to the community tab so you can read that article by Carly Ledbetter, who I believe is a very Sussex friendly writer at the Huffington Post. Okay, are we good? Are we good? There's still 870 people. You guys are waiting for Ginger Adventure, and so am I. The last comment of the day, I'll take it, but I was really hoping it would be something to unify us. Like, thanks all, Squatty family. Enjoy the podcast. All right, that's good. I'll take that one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Ginger Avenger, and we are so out of here. Thank you all. Love you all. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Oh, thank you so much, everybody. Why is still 768 people in here? And out of 768, how many of y'all actually hit the like button? Ginger Avenger means we're gone. We're out of here. Hasta luego, vaya con dias, muy bien and stuff. But no, you all are so cool. That is awesome. Y'all are staying here. Yeah, I'm 1,000 people 2 days in a row. I don't deserve it, Lord. I am not worthy. Yes, I am. Now that puts me in a great mood, though. I really appreciate it. You guys, soon, Royal Sussex is going to have 5 million views and 13,000 subscribers. It's going to be so big, I'm going to have to say it like Oprah Winfrey. Now, here's a little heads up that is for you all staying after Ginger Avenger. I think we should have like some kind of little party or something because in May, that is like when I first became monetized. But April 15th was when Royal Sussex really took off. For a whole year, I had only made like 5 videos and I just couldn't wrap my brain around this Royal Sussex thing. So after making the 5 videos, I just stopped. And then a year later, April the 15th, I started actually doing the Royal Sussex. So I like to consider April 15th of 2021 as the anniversary date. So yeah, I'm gonna have to plan something special for April 15th. So April 15th is when I really started, the actual Royal Sussex. Before that, the channel had a different name. And then on May the 17th, that was when Royal Sussex became monetized. That means I had over 1,000 subscribers and I was eligible to monetize and I could use the community tab. So thank you all for everything because without you, I would be nothing. I'd still be cute and I would still have like a very weird, quirky personality. But without you guys, yeah, I know I said cute. I would still be adorable. But without you guys, where would I be right now, right? So thank you, thank you, thank you. So we'll talk about it more next time. I'm just blown away by how fast this channel has grown. 5 million views in like what? Um I want to say 12 months. Yeah, a year, 12 months. 5 million views in 12 months. I mean, for some channels, that's not much, but for a Sussex friendly channel, that is everything. So I only gauge my success by how much participation I get as a Sussex friendly channel. And that's it. So thank you all. Love you. And out of here.